Concrete Howl, the legend of the Long Island City werewolf. Blood in the bricks. Long Island City never truly slept. Even in the dead of night, when Manhattan's glow bled softly across the East River, the clang of distant machinery or the guttural rumble of late-night trains echoed down the alleys. But beneath that surface noise, something older stirred, something hungry. Luis Marquez, a sanitation worker nearing retirement, had walked the same route for 30 years. The alley behind the old Fisher warehouse near Newtown Creek was always his last stop. Locals joked about the thing in the alley, rats the size of dogs, ghostly shadows on the rooftops, even a werewolf. Luis dismissed it all. New York was full of myth. What mattered was that the alley always stank of something rotten that the trucks couldn't wash away. Until the night he didn't come back. The next morning, his truck was found idling, driver door open, Luis's fluorescent vest soaked in something dark and viscous and not human. A set of clawed tracks led away into the overgrown loading yard, vanishing behind a collapsed section of fence where shadow swallowed light. Rumors spiraled fast. Another urban explorer swore they'd seen glowing eyes in the shattered upper floors of the warehouse. Some claimed howling at night had become more frequent. Others, the ones who worked graveyard shifts, started requesting reassignment. But it was all whispered, never reported. The Long Island City werewolf had returned. The Phantom of Steel and Fur. Danielle Graves wasn't a believer. As a freelance urban folklorist and YouTube content creator, she built her brand around urban myths, and her next target was the Long Island City werewolf. She'd read Bunny Cryan's 1985 Glen Cove story, knew about the Revolutionary War werewolf, and the newer Queens variant haunting warehouse districts. It was textbook myth evolution, nothing more. Armed with a thermal drone, night vision camera, and a knack for embellishment, Danielle headed into the industrial zone one fog-dredged Friday. Her plan: record a mock hunt of the werewolf in the rumored hotspots near the Queensboro rail yards. Her video started routine: empty streets, graffiti-tagged doors, rust-eaten fences, until 2:43 a.m. The drone caught something. A bipedal figure darted from one building to another, too tall for a human, hunched, moving like it was both limping and running. Danielle laughed it off as a coyote or a prank. But when she returned to retrieve her drone, she found the base of the alley scorched with claw marks and half-devoured pigeon carcass nailed to the warehouse wall with what looked like a railroad spike. The video went viral. Most dismissed it as digital manipulation. Danielle didn't return to LIC again. The Packless One. What the people of Long Island City didn't know was that the creature wasn't born from myth. It remembered blood, hot human blood, back when it was hunted across the swamps of Glen Cove, its howls blamed on the superstitions of war. It had fed on soldiers and vagrants, then faded as the city grew and its swamps were swallowed by concrete and time. But legends persist, and so do those behind them. It didn't call itself anything. Names were human things. It remembered only the darkness, the thrill of chase, the crack of bones. It had learned to move between shadows, to crawl through the subway grates, to use the sewers as arteries beneath the city's skin. Now, the concrete jungle gave it new prey. Homeless camps, stray dogs, late-night wanderers who slipped between visibility. It hunted with patience, not often, but enough. And always it returned to its lair, the derelict sub-basement beneath a defunct Apex foundry, rusted machines like skeletal remains, its floor littered with gnawed bones, both animal and suspiciously long.
Urban witness. Detective Jalen Ford hated cryptid calls. He'd worked in Queens homicide for over a decade. He believed in drugs, rage, accidents, not in beasts. Not until the LIC thing file landed on his desk. 7 missing persons in 3 years, all around a 6-block industrial radius. No bodies, just remnants. Torn jackets, crushed phones, blood splatter analysis showing violent trauma, sometimes without drag marks. One night, driven by grim curiosity and insomnia, Ford returned to the site of the most recent case, an art student who vanished during a photo shoot in the rail yard. He heard it before he saw it. Not a howl, but a low, rolling growl that vibrated through the brick walls. Then the eyes. Amber, unblinking, 10 feet above the ground, watching from a loading platform. The shape behind them was enormous, too broad to be a man. Then it moved. 1 step. Ford saw claws, wet with something dark. He pulled his gun. The thing didn't flee. It dropped from the platform silently and vanished behind an old coal bin. Ford fired. Nothing. Only the echo of his breath and the feeling that something intelligent and malevolent had decided to let him live. He never filed the full report. Darkness under glass. The NYPD never confirmed the beast's existence. But underground, at an undisclosed university lab in upstate New York, a tissue sample sat under cryolock. A private contractor had retrieved it. A claw fragment lodged in a corrugated steel door near Newtown Creek. The metal around it had melted slightly. The DNA? Part canid, part unknown, not even wolf dog, but something older with mitochondrial mutations unseen in any modern species. The lab notes, marked classified genetic aberrations, made it clear. Specimen displays regenerative markers, evidence of exogenous retroviral influence, strong resemblance to theoretical cryptid genome models hypothesized in 2017 DARPA white paper, Chimera Immunity Project. The werewolf wasn't folklore. It was evolution's secret, or someone's experiment. Final prey. Maritza Rojas didn't know about the werewolf when she snuck into the warehouse on a dare. She just wanted to prove she wasn't scared. Her friends watched from outside, snickering as she vanished into the dark with nothing but her phone flashlight and a flask of vodka. She never screamed, but her phone kept recording. Found 3 days later, battery dead, wedged behind a rusted pipe. The last 60 seconds of footage showed her laughing, calling her friends cowards. Then the growl, then the light shaking, a blur of movement, a single amber eye filling the screen. The video was pulled from TikTok within hours. The account deleted. Her disappearance quietly classified as missing with probable mental health concerns. The alley she entered is now fenced and patrolled. But at night, locals still report scratching along the gates and the low growl that sounds far too deliberate for any dog. The beast remains. No matter how much LIC gentrifies, the legend persists. New towers rise beside old factories. Coffee shops bloom where meatpacking plants once stood. But in the cracks of the city, the beast waits. Some say